Thank you, Mr. Minister. I'm very excited to be here today. I could say also, like Mary, that I love Iceland already, but I have to say also that we are not only, I'm not only cheering on Iceland tonight in the football game, we have already done something else. You know, Pyry Soiri, who was the goal maker in the Finland's match towards Croatia, he comes from Vaasa and he played in the Vaasa football team last year still, so he was our gift to you. Good. I'll give you a quick story, a case story about how to brand a city. I think Karen had a very good presentation and made very good points. I'm talking about my city, that we have been very successfully working towards a energy capital. You know, Vaasa was the capital of Finland when we had our civil war in 1980, and the government had to flee for a few months up to Vaasa, and the idea came from creating, when we saw what we had, we thought that we should go on this. But first I'll go shortly to give you a brief insight into where I'm coming from so you understand better what it's about. Vaasa is in the middle of Finland on the western coast, very close to Sweden. We and our neighboring regions and cities are very prosperous. We are growing very rapidly. We have around 500,000 people in these regions, and we have around 55,000 university students. So that's a lot of knowledge and that's a lot of energy. We say that in Vaasa, it's a small city. In a European scale, we have 67,000 people living in Vaasa, but every fifth of the people you meet in the street is a university student. So that gives you a perception of how knowledge-intensive area we have. Another unique thing about us is also that we work in a very unique way. Our universities work together with our businesses and our corporations. This is not a new thing, but I think we do it in a more intensive way. And maybe to refer to what Mary was talking about, love and obsession, I would say passion. We do it in a very passionate way in Vaasa. This is what it's all about. We have big locomotives like ABB, Wärtsilä, Danfoss working for us. We have energy generation, but all in all, what Energy Vasaa is about energy technology. We have around 140 SMEs and these big locomotives that are working locally on solving global energy issues every day. 1/4 of the manpower in the energy industry works in Vaasa. We have over 1,000 people working only in R&D. So I say we don't produce bulk anymore, we more produce knowledge and development, and that is what we export. What is very special for us in a Finnish scale is that we are the only city that has this kind of high export rate. Over 80% of the industry's production goes on export. And this is very, very unique, and therefore we are very connected to the global world, and we have been our mindset is maybe moving a little bit faster than some of the other ones who are only in a local competition. We are setting a big footprint. I'll run through it because I always listen to what the ministers say. He said now we should take it quickly, but we are actually making a big footprint, and I hope to see you all in March. We have a yearly conference, Energy Week. It's a whole week, different energy themes every day. Over 4,000 experts coming to Vaasa during that week. And it's for experts and decision makers. Because as we see it, the energy transition is not so more about technology. It is more about today about regulation and market models. How to build up, how to change the regulation, and how to build the market models for the new energy markets. The technology is there, and therefore that's what we are pushing. So all in all, with all these assets, we have a lot of green patents I'm running through very fast, and we make a big footprint economically. How did we come to this position? Well, in the beginning of this millennium, we had nothing. We didn't even know about any Energy Vasaa. We started to see what should we do, and a little bit what you were talking about. What are our strengths, what are our assets? And we found out that we have a unique concentration of global energy technology players. And we started working on that. First in internal marketing material, we had a lot of discussions with the businesses and the universities. And then we started to tap in on the energy transition. And finally, it came out in a strategy for the whole city. And we made a vision to become a Nordic energy capital. This is important because, you know, cities usually produce, what do we produce? Healthcare, infrastructure, education, not energy technology. And when I am talking to my employees, I say that energy must be thought of in every aspect. It's also human energy. If we see it like this, then you can brand it in a much more effective way. And actually, I know that our companies are liking this. Because through this strategy, when we are implementing energy in every sense of what we are doing, then we will also help the climate for our companies to grow and to become new. When you make up a strategy, it's very important that you don't be too specific. We Finns are good at engineering, and we want to make manuals of everything. But I want to point out a vision and a strategy shouldn't be a manual. It should only show the direction. And every people should find their own meaning in it and look their path in that strategy. So I said we integrated energy into everything we are doing. We have, for example, developed our own energy education strategy in Vaasa for our comprehensive schools. This is important because young people don't find natural sciences and mathematics so interesting anymore. And we started thinking about it, how can we do it and how can we wake their interest already when they are young. We started doing concrete things. It's not enough to have a brand. A brand will fall down if it's not genuine and if it doesn't respond to what you are doing. So we started building real platforms. And I welcome you to Vaasa and come and look what they look like when we put these energy systems into order and implement them in our city infrastructure. We also started growing because of this strategy. We actually got appointed from the Ministry of Economic Affairs and Employment to have a responsibility, a national responsibility to develop smart and sustainable energy solutions. And this is quite unique for a city. This means we coordinate the industry, we coordinate the universities and all shareholders in creating new smart and sustainable energy solutions in Finland. A few words, Birger said when we were talking about this conference that they are also wanted to hear a few words about our Gigafactory initiative. This shows that when you have a good strategy, you can also implement it very good in your actions and you can become very fast. We heard about Mr. Musk's initiative about the European Gigafactory in the end of November last year. And we have understood about the disruption that's going on with energy storage. And we wanted to look in on it because we have every other aspect of energy technology in our city. Therefore, we started working very hard with building an offer for this, and this is the point where we are now. We are planning very fast and are opening up this area for building in June 2018. It's an area of almost 1,000 hectares made for battery factories and likewise operations. So I'm already overdue and my presentation is going towards the end. But one thing I want to still give to you. You are hard business leaders in a hard business, but you should never forget who you are doing this for. And we haven't. We are always thinking about the next generations. Those are the ones we are working for. Thank you.